And Steven Crowder, he does a lot of sort of commentary, comedic commentary, social issues, social justice type situations, political stuff, conversations. But a lot of stuff, what he talks about is sort of calling out some of the hypocrisy of the trans community, where they're trying to be sweet and nice and inclusive and just accepting. But when you have something to say about them, they act a certain type of way. You have that clip on Slack, Joe?
Yes, I do.
Play this. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Was that the one I just sent you?
Yes.
Okay, so play that. That might be it.
Yes, this is louder. This is it.
Start it over and use the volume.
There we go.
Remember, volume, then play. Not play, then volume.
Volume.
I'm good.
This is a call. Riley Gaines.
Yeah. Here's the thing, there's no accountability for these people. They can say whatever they want, they can attack however they want.
Wow.
Whoa.
Hey, that's not very ladylike.
It's bam!
Yes.
It's bam!
In one day.
You piece of living garbage ass dumpster fire.
We're guilty until
The mic.
Stole a homeless man's lunchbox.
Yes,
It was like a
and be
pencil
rotting in
case.
jail, but
Tupperware.
I know of. Ooh.
This is
Threw
what we
it
see
right at
happens
him.
chemically. This is what we see happens in the data when you put people through transition. Criminality increases, violent behavior increases, suicidality increases. That is irrefutable.
Giving someone hormones that they're biologically not designed to even receive.
Anyway, he's out there, as they say, in these streets, having conversations with people, real life. And the lady, the person, whatever it was, that was like, fuck you, you piece of scum. It's like, you're seeing people attack, a normal guy, whatever, his opinion, everyone's entitled to their opinion, I don't care. But when you start getting physical and when you start attacking people and hitting them and punching them and trying to choke them, it's like now you're crossing a line. That's assault, brother.
Yeah.
As a famous poet, Billy Madison, used to say. Right, Joe?
Yes, sir.
So speaking of attacking people, did you see what happened with the swimmer now turned activist, Riley Gaines, when she went to go speak at San Francisco State University?
Yes.
Basically, she's one of the people that competed against Leah Thomas, the man who transitioned to a woman and basically dominated college female swimming, dominated with a D, keep in mind, tucked in, dominating females. And she went to speak on campus recently, and look how nice the trans community was to see her. See how inviting they were. See if we can play some of those videos.
It's a peaceful community, right? I would be so scared.
Go halfway, Joe. This is her filming, trying to escape people. There's two videos. You're gonna play the video.
Wow,
Okay.
that's horrifying.
That's what's happening on campus.
I'm scared. I'm scared, and
Listen,
I'm not even there.
the word I was looking for is it's okay to protest earlier.
Yeah, but that's
But
attacking.
now
Like,
when you start attacking
yeah.
people,
It's like too much. It becomes too much. Like it's such a bad representation of that community. Like I get you want to make a stand and you want to make a point and you want to be accepted and all those things. But when you start like representing your community like that, like what a bad representation, you know? Like how can you be welcoming to something like that?
Oh man, that's crazy out there. Anyway, we don't need the next Riley Gaines clip. So let's start wrapping up here. I think we get the point. Certain companies that go woke, things are okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt them so bad. I don't think it's so bad. You know, when you put in the greater context, someone like a Colin Kaepernick taking a knee,
Yeah.
in protest of social justice, BLM. Okay, all right, controversial, but I believe in your right to protest. But when you juxtapose that with the Dylan Mulvaney trans activism type stuff,
Yeah.
they say that dog don't hunt.
Yeah.
Something about that dog right there.
It's not hunting.
Just ain't hunting. I don't know. Maybe I was at a country music festival earlier and that's just kind of I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what some celebrities had to say recently, specifically Joe Rogan, and also a couple notable quotes of their commentary on sort of what's happening with the trans community. Do you have what Joe Rogan said recently? Spotify's Joe Rogan suggests trans are signs of civilizations collapsing. Do you have the clip that from YouTube? I think I would have sent that to Natalya as well.
It's on Twitter?
It is on Twitter, correct.
Gotcha.
From Citizen Free Press.
Here it is.
This is right after the shooting that happened in Nashville recently.
Which is all these articles that came out about the misgendering of the school shooter, which is so
it's crazy.
wild.
Go
This
about
is insane.
30
First of all,
seconds
that
in, 20
person's
seconds in.
dead. Okay.
You made this. I think you had this. I think you were the first one that really said that drew attention to that all the confusion around sex and gender was a symptom of civilizations in decline.
Yeah, well, I got it from Douglas Murray.
Oh, Douglas Murray.
Yeah,
this.
Douglas Murray talked about this, that it seems like every civilization, when they're at the brink of collapse, becomes obsessed with gender. And he talked about ancient Greece and ancient Rome, and it just seems like a thing that people do when there's no real, like physical conflict.
Right.
So people look for conflict that doesn't exist, and they find conflict in standard norms. They find conflict in society.
Yeah. There's actually a famous author who's very knowledgeable on this issue. Her name is Camille Paglia. She talks about transgenderism. She said, when society believes that they're so cosmopolitan and sophisticated, when in reality we're a civilization that no longer believes in itself. And what Joe Rogan essentially was saying is, if you look at ancient Greece or ancient Rome, and they weren't exactly doing paintings, they were doing busts and statues. That was their thing. And as the story goes, once a man was a man and a woman was a woman, once they started seeing where the statues where the men were started doing like this kind of a thing and just started being like a little more whatever. I don't want to do it on camera. Someone's going to cut it up and call me one of those. That led to the collapse of society. And what Joe Rogan was saying was basically, so there's no real conflict. We have it so good here in America. We have it so good in the West. We have it so good in the first world.
Right.
Like, you go to the poorest person's house in America, the poorest person's house, and you compare that with the poorest person's house in where you were talking about Honduras. You go to certain parts of Africa, you go in certain parts of the Middle East, you go to certain parts of Asia. It is night and day. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Now, we have it so good here in America that we're looking for absurdities to basically harp on. There's no real conflict.
Yeah.
Here in America, there's no real war. It's like there's a war in Afghanistan. I don't know. Does it affect your life?
Yeah.
All right. There's a war in Iraq. Is there anything? There's a war in Ukraine. It doesn't affect me. You know what affects me? I'm not feeling my best. So I think I'm going to transition. That ain't who I am. So is it a decline of civilization? Is it a collapse of civilization? Joe Rogan actually spoke with Jordan Peterson about this, who basically was saying the exact same thing. So shout out to our good friend Joe, who actually got us tickets to the last UFC fight the other day. Gave him to PBD, took us to the thing. That was awesome. But yeah, I appreciate that perspective. Are we in decline? What's the famous quote that hard times leads to strong men leads to good times lead to weak men lead to hard times, and so on and so forth. Where are we in that right now? we're in good times right
Yeah,
now.
we're in good
and our good times lead in to weak men.
So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another, or if you want to watch the entire Soscast, click right here.